Robert. Well, as we light up, Robert, do you have a question?
Yeah. So yes, I do. Okay, so when I started smoking cigars about 13, 14 years ago, it started because it was a way for me to hang out with Ben, my brother-in-law, and talk about shit that we could, just anything we wanted to talk about. And it got me thinking, and I was thinking about that today, and it got me thinking, when you started smoking, guys, what was the purpose behind you continuing to smoke? Like, I hung out with Ben, we talked about movies, we talked about whatever, and it's just a way for us to continue to just hang out. We smoked. And even now when we aren't shooting or anything, and I go over there, we'll hang out, have a cigar, and just talk about everything. So what was the purpose behind you continuing to move forward with the cigars?
I wanted
That's a
people to
great
like
question.
me.
Did it work?
Nope.
Just checking.
But I'm persistent. I try. I try again and again and again.
Okay. So, I mean, what possessed me to pick up a Dutch Master as my first smoke? I don't know. It was there. I want to try it. I tried it. Decided there's got to be better. And then I moved on to what was a new line at the time, which were acids.
Oh,
now,
I'm
this
sorry.
is back. Well, this is back when acids and Helix were like going at it, right? They were standard tobacco. They weren't like flavored cigars. So you had acid and you had Helix that were coming up, like the big shiny new star. And I wasn't really impressed with, the Dutch Matcher, the Helix, the acid. So I kind of stopped smoking cigars up until the point where I met Andy, and we hit it off, started talking about cigars, and I had smoked a couple of cigars in the past, so we hit it off and just started smoking again, and been going ever since. It's just kind of a camaraderie thing for me. It's an excuse to get together, have a cigar, talk out our problems, talk politics, talk whatever, and just have a good time.
I mirror that sentiment, Gibbs. I mean, I know what possessed me to pick up a cigar in the first place, but the reason to keep continuing to smoke cigars, it was kind of the alternative to cigarettes for the most part, and it was relaxing, and then it became a community thing, especially when social media kind of ramped up. I started probably smoking more cigars as I continued to work at the airline, and found a community on social media that I still have friends in, and then I met Gibbs, and I mean, then it became just it's always been kind of community. But if it's just me by myself, it's my own personal therapy at this point. Cheaper than therapy too, just saying.
So I've heard.
Andy makes it sound pretty awesome, like with the social and everything. But like, really, most of us, I don't know about Zach, but most of us, we trace our cigar lineage back to Andy. So really, he's more like a peddler, and we all got suckered in.
That's because he's in the back pocket of big tobacco.
Right.
It is.
I wish they'd send me a check. Maybe direct deposit.
Do you know how many people I got hooked? Do you know how much you owe me? Let me fill it out for you real quick.
I mean, at this point, he'll accept
call.
Bitcoin.
True story. And whole
Zach,
and
you
whole
got
out,
anything to share?
whole numbers.
What'd you say, Gibbs?
Zach, you got anything to share?
Oh, so it's similar. Probably. Well, it is similar to I guess your all of your all's origin to continuing. I continued smoking. Like the first one, I was just interested because I thought they smelled great, and I imagined that they tasted similar to they smell, which they kind of do, although it's quite different in a lot of ways. But I continued because it forced me to take time for myself, that I would just sit and think, and almost like a meditation. I later found that I enjoy like the Brotherhood of the Leaf and Sisterhood of the Leaf going to the shops and hanging out with the crew, to have that kind of social interaction, and then the thing in common that kind of bridges gaps that are otherwise present. If you're in a good shop, you can sit down next to somebody who digs ditches and a doctor and have a conversation without any issues, because you have that one thing in common that you can talk about. Thought that was cool, but initially it was just like forced me to take time and like decompress a little bit. So it was a form of therapy.
All right.
I don't know if that was
Doctor,
good.
you have
Jesus have to
There
say
you go.
about that.
That was great. It was great. Grim, did you have anything else to add? I know you kind of put in your one-liners in there. I didn't know if you want to discuss more.
You need a second line?
No, not really, but I was just giving you the
Impresses
opportunity.
The chicks too. Like I get tons, and my wife wants to make out with me all the time after I smoke. It's fantastic.
Chick magnet.
Total.
No,
Total chick.
I smoke when I write. I smoke with you guys, and I smoke on a lunch break every once in a while. But for the most part, like it's a solitary thing for me to like just reset.
That's fair. So I hope that answers your question, Robert.
It actually does. Thank you, gentlemen.